What's up, guys? It's me, Ashley Style, also known as Adventures in Vogue, also known as Adventures in Dating. If you're not subscribed to those other channels, go do that right now. Like, no, really, stop. Like, pause this video, go search YouTube, Adventures in Dating, Adventures in Vogue, and subscribe. Okay, so now that you've done that, thank you. Oh my God, you're so sweet. Thanks. But no, seriously, do that. It's free. Anyway, so this is not going to be a video about hair. This is not going to be a video about dating. It's a video about life. So if you are not interested in hearing about life, then, or my life, then you can promptly just click close this video. It's just not for you. I'm so sorry. Maybe they'll have something else for you in the future, especially if you go subscribe to one of those other channels. But this is not for you. So I'm giving you a chance. Okay, so now that those that are not interested in this video are gone, let's get started. So basically, I quit my job. I quit my job. A grown woman, and I quit my job. I'm gonna start at the beginning. So if you've followed this channel for some time, then you know that when I first started this channel, I was living in Philadelphia, going to school for fashion design. And I had some life issues, and ultimately I returned back to my hometown, which is Louisiana. And here's where I've been residing for the past 4 years. When I was in Philadelphia, I don't know if you know, or maybe, I don't know if I recorded a video about that, but I'm pretty sure I did. Life was hard. Point blank, period. Hardest time of my entire life, you know? So I was almost homeless. I was penniless. I was destitute. It was a bad time. I contemplated suicide. I mean, everything was pretty rough in Philly. But when I got home, God, oh, that's another thing. If you don't want to hear about God, then you can go ahead and exit now, because I will be talking about God in this video too. Boom. So anyway, God definitely gave me back everything that was taken from me, or that I felt I lost while I was in Philly. When I got back, I was sleeping on people's couches. I was just ultimately a hobo, I guess, in a sense. You know, I had all of the things, material. You know, I had clothes and I had food, and I just found places to stay with family and things of that nature. So that's the background. I mean, when I got back here, I had a job. You know, I started working not even a week, within getting here. I just actually transferred back with my other job, so that was cool. Within a month, I had an apartment and I had another job. So everything was like great. I had a car. Everything was awesome. I got everything back, and I was so happy. And I realized that if I could survive all of that was going on in Philly, then I can survive anything with God. So anyway, back to me quitting my job. So I've been working at this place for 4 years, and I will admit it is a cushy situation. I was working in property management, so my housing was well reduced and affordable. I had no complaints. There was a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks. I was pretty much surviving, So I had pretty much everything I want. I still have everything I want, but and I had everything that I needed. So, but okay. And for the first year or two, things were great. As time progressed, that job started to get on my nerves. It started to feel as if it was drawing my soul from me, not because the job was bad, but because it wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. I want to work. Sorry, the window's open as you walk out the window. I wanted to work in fashion. Ultimately, I wanted to work in fashion design. So if you don't know, when I got back home, I did start going back to school to finish my master's in fashion design. So that was pretty much my thing. When I finished my master's, I'm gonna move and I'm gonna pursue this. And of course, let me tell you what happens. You get comfortable. That job is secure. That home is secure. That check is secure. You're a grown up. You have responsibilities. You have car notes, car insurance, rent. You have phone bill. You have insurance. And for those of you who don't know, I'm type 1 diabetic. My insurance is incredibly important. So I began to be slightly depressed about the job situation. So I wanted to quit. That was 2 years ago. But I didn't know if that's what God wanted me to do. I knew that that's what I wanted, but I didn't know if that's what God really wanted me to do. And I didn't want to be in a situation where I made a move on my own and then I'm struggling for the rest of, whatever. So I prayed about it. And God said, sit still, this is where I want you at for right now. You know what I mean? So I suffered through it. I complained. I was depressed and I was sad and I was angry, to say the least. I felt like I always had this attitude, like, woo woo woo. I'm always ready to give you some saucy attitude because I'm not happy with what's going on in my, life. You spend a lot of time at work. I've said this before. Spend more than half of your life at work, and I feel like you should be happy with it. So I pushed through, got over that hurdle. I went on some vacations, came back refreshed, ready to do this thing again. So I did. And a year after that, I ran into some issues with school. You know what I mean? I am completely 100% finished all of my coursework for my master's degree. The only thing left for me to do is to write my thesis. Just thought I'd share that. After that year, I began to feel the same way again. Those feelings returned. I don't want to be here. I want to be working in what I love. I want to be doing what I love, So I suffered through. Every time I would get in that place, I would just pray. I would talk to my friends. They would build me up. I would go on a vacation. I'd be refreshed. You feel me? Once you have a little time out, you feel so much better. So then some change. I slapped my thighs. It's going to be on the audio anyway. So some changes started to take place within the company culture. I'm going to say this is July. So February, March. In March, the changes started. We obtained some new property. And, there was a lot of employee changes, a lot of management changes, a lot of things changed. And in that, the climate, the atmosphere at work began to be much different. It was so negative and so gossipy and I really hated to go there. And I also felt like things that were my job, people were getting upset at me for doing my job. You know what I mean? I'm doing my job. I need you to do your job. And that's it. There is no rest of it. You feel me? We were told we could no longer talk to one another. Mind you, this is a very small office. There's 4 of us. I don't think it's only 2 of us that actually work in the office. So it's like, I can't talk to the person that's 5 feet away from me, seriously. But I can understand that, it's a place of business. It's a place where people work. However, I knew within my heart that it wasn't a place that I, a creative person, a free person, a person who likes to talk, wanted to be. So I knew that the time was coming to where it was going to be time for me to go. I knew that. So I had made that decision in my head, like, oh, it's time to go. Typed up that letter of resignation, and I kind of just let it sit there, and I just kind of had to stop myself. Okay, girl, you can't make a move alone. You need to pray and make sure this is the right decision. So I began to pray, and I didn't hear an answer from God. It was quiet. It's, as an adult, I ain't gonna lie, it's so hard to give up stability. It's hard. I didn't have any savings, like, it's hard. So it was time coming up, and I knew, it was time to go. So I began to pray, kept praying, kept praying, kept praying. But I never got an answer. Like, oh my God, I gotta know what to do. And I don't want to make a move alone because I don't want to wander for 40 years. You know what I mean? I want to do this thing to where I'm actually making a decision that it's going to bring me success. I don't want to do it. I woke up one night in the middle of the night and just was praying, and then God gave me an answer. And I think it's really funny the way God gives you things, or the way things come to you. I've seen this video years and years ago by Will Smith. I'm sure you guys have heard it. It's really inspirational and all that jazz. But I was sitting there and I prayed and I cried and I was good. I just felt better. So I got on the Vine and I was, laughing at Vine. And of course, Vine is funny. It's hilarious. Everything on there is funny. And I come across this video and it's like a snippet of that Will Smith video. So I go and I'm like, well, I need to watch this video right now. So I go and watch this video and I said to myself, that was nothing with God. I'm sitting here watching videos, giving my hee-hee-hees on, and this serious videos on my timeline, and I go and listen to it and verbatim, it is saying, yeah, I'll try to post the link below, but go check it out. It's a really inspirational video about the power of your thoughts and your tongue and the power of you, and just knowing that when you go for those things that you can actually achieve them. And it's really inspirational. It's awesome. In the midst of that, there was a book that came. Some of you probably read it. It's The Alchemist. So I said, I'm going to read this book. So I get The Alchemist, read it, and, in my mind, I'm like, if there was any doubt that now is the time to make a move, now is the time. And it was like a weekend. So during that weekend, I'm like, oh my God, I want to take my vacation time. And I had a lot of vacation time and personal time too. So I take my vacation. I come back to work and I'm like, I was just going to stay at home and look for work, that's it. But I get online and I'm looking at the tickets to New York and I'm just like, oof, these tickets are so high. No. Won't be going to New York again because New York's kind of a cheap trip for me, My godbrother lives there. I go and visit him often, all that good stuff. So whatever. And it's where I want to live. So I just love being there. So I get ready that Monday morning. I know that I'm going to request to go on my vacation. Before I put my request in, I said, well, let me look at these tickets one more time. Tickets that were $400 round trip are now $180 round trip. Look at God. So I booked the trip. And I let them know I was going on vacation. And I decided that when I got there, I was going to look for work. So I did. I went to New York. I had an amazing time. I looked for work. I had a million interviews. It was so awesome. However, by the time I got back here, that's what everybody wanted to call me for a second interview. So I was like, oh man, that sucks. So it's going to be super cool. I thought that I would share with you guys because I know that you're probably not the only person that wants to move to the Big Apple. And, the struggle is going to be real. And I think that somebody would want a real glimpse into what it's like to move to the Big Apple. I don't have any money. Okay? No money. I'm broke. I'm going to make it happen. My godbrother has allowed me a great blessing of being able to stay with him for 2 months until I get my ish together. Fortunately, I'm going to have to leave my dog, which is motivation for me to hurry up and get my shit together. You feel me? So I'm still struggling with quitting this job because I have responsibilities. I can't just be out here bumming. I can't. It's just not cute. I'm used to being on my own. I'm used to being independent. I can't do it. You know what I mean? So I talked to my support system, which is my godbrother and my mom. I told them what was going on. They were both well aware, and they both supported my decision, and they were both just like, let it go. You're talented. You can do it. Let it go. So when I get back from New York, even though I was very disappointed that I wasn't able to secure a job, I thought, well, hey, I'll just look for a job at home. It's fine. I applied for a million jobs at home. No one called me. When I was in New York, I applied at interviews. I had at least 8 interviews in a matter of less than a 2 weeks time span, and half of that was a holiday. So yeah, and weekend. So I came back to work, started back working, and I mean, just everything was so horrible there. Like the people, the emails were just so harsh. Everything was just like, wow, this is such a negative environment. People talking about people behind people's backs, and I can hear you, and I don't even care that you're talking about me behind my back. You're saying one thing to my face, and you go and say something else behind my back. So I was just like, I can't. This is draining to me. I went to lunch. I came back, and I put in my notice, and I left. I quit it. I quit my job, and I decided that I would give New York a try. So I'm moving to New York on the 16th. Oh, seriously, I'm moving to New York in 9 days. I don't have any money. I am completely broke. I am completely stepping out on faith. And that's why I think it's important for me to share this with you, because I want you guys to be able to see a realistic journey of what it's like, moving to New York with pennies, basically. My godbrother is graciously offering me a space to live in for approximately 2 months. I'm not even gonna say approximately. The brother said 2 months. So that would be September 16th. So I have to leave my little dog, unfortunately. So that's definitely motivation to hurry up and get my ish together. And I just want to show you guys, and I want you to be a witness to what he's getting ready to do, because it's going to be completely him, because I have nothing. I have nothing right now, and let's talk about tailor-made blessings. So when I quit my job, I didn't have another job. I had no money. Nothing was lined up. And there were people willing to give me a job. Don't get me wrong. I have good work history. My former employers were willing to reach out and let me work for them again if I needed to. But nobody wanted to let you work for them for a month. Oh, so you just gonna come for a month? Boo. Nah, boo, we cool on that. So I started to get down in my spirit, because I'm like, I cannot go. I mean, yes, I have a place to stay, and yes, I have food, but I cannot go to New York without any money. I have to be able to get around to interviews. I have to be able to, have money in case of emergencies. So I kind of got down because nobody would call me back. Seriously. Went to New York, had about 32 interviews. Just like, it was more like 8 interviews. Come back home, nobody calls. You feel me? So I was just like really getting down in my spirit. But then I just said, you know what? I'm not going to do that, because God is in control. And I have to remember that. And I'm not going to let myself be in a negative place. Nobody can take me there, because I know this is happening. Okay? This is happening. So I pulled myself together, and my mom had mentioned something about, they're filming a film at the old hospital. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. I should check into, doing that, or working in wardrobe or something. And so I really kind of pushed it off. And then that weekend I looked, and I'm like, wow, they're doing castings right now. I should submit for this casting. Submitted for the casting, and guess who was booked? They booked me. The girl was booked. So this was tailor-made by God, because this allowed me to work, get some money, while not having to commit to a job long term. It's on a contract basis. So like, I was booked last week for a job, and I'm booked this week for a job. And so after this, I'll be gone. I only have a few more days here. It's not bad work at all. So if that's something you're interested in, and you have questions, what little wealth of knowledge I have about the subject, you can put a comment and I will try to respond. But that's it. If you are definitely interested in hearing my successes and failures on this journey to New York, please leave a comment below. My camera's about to die, so bye guys.